Welcome to Friday Fantasy Football Forum, otherwise known as FFFF, otherwise known as Quad F, or otherwise known as which is the sound you make after you sit the wrong guys. So, hopefully after your visit here, we'll have a little bit less and a little bit more woo. Now let's go be the best in the land of make-believe. Alright guys, welcome back for another week of FFFF, and so far nobody really cares, and that's fine. It's pretty much what I expected, except for Malk. Malk is a boss. You guys should all go sub Malk. I'm sure he'll have a comment in there. Just kidding. Anyway, right back to our NFL picks. This week it's pretty darn easy, or at least for me, as far as what I feel like picking. So, Lions, Broncos. I know I've said the last two games Lions would lose, and I ended up, unfortunately, being right. Lions are going to take this one. Pats, Steelers is going to be the game of the week. Like, that's going to be such a good game. Everybody should watch it if they can, but they're not going to be able to. So I'm taking Pats. However, they've owned the Steelers in recent years, so I'm just going to keep going with that. Colts, Titans. This is going to be one of the best chances for the Colts to win all season, but until they win one game, it's going to be almost impossible to predict them to win anything, so I'm going Titans. Saints, Rams, yeah, Saints, that's pretty obvious. Giants, Dolphins, going Giants. Vikings, Panthers. Probably pretty close, actually, but I'm going to pick the Panthers anyway. Cardinals, Ravens. As much as the Ravens suck and apparently can't beat a bad team, I'm still picking the Ravens. Jaguars, Texans, I got Texans. Redskins, Bills, I'm going Bills. Browns, 49ers, I'm going 49ers. Bengals, Seahawks, I'm going Bengals. Cowboys, Eagles, I'm going Eagles. Chargers, Chiefs, I'm going Chargers. And after looking at all these lines at the bottom, with San Diego, Cincinnati, Philly, SF, Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, Carolina, Giants, Tennessee, New Orleans, New England, and Detroit. It looks like I'm picking zero upsets this week, so I'm a douche. But that's just how it looks. Like, all these teams just look like they have an advantage. Obviously, it's not going to work out that way. There's going to be at least one or two in there somewhere, but I don't know where, and I don't care where, because I'm not putting money on it, so I don't have to actually be, hardcore legit about it. But there we are, so should be some sweet games, and let's get on with it. So, since everything's been really limited as far as, number of comments and number of people watching and stuff like that, I'm just going to try and speed things up this week. There's not too many questions really going on for me in some of my teams, which makes things even more simplistic to speed up. So I want to try and do a little bit more of waiver wire stuff and see like if there's a name on there that could be good, or on my opponent's team, something to kind of think up in there for. Manningham is expected to do really well because he's versus the Dolphins and blah blah blah, but even when he was expected to do well early in the season, he didn't really do much of anything. So I don't still trust him at all. And then Victor Cruz has gotten really really good as well. So I don't know. I wouldn't really trust him myself. If you have no other options, it's a good matchup for it. So he could end up. I mean, hell, Plaxico Burress pulled down 3 touchdowns out of nowhere last week. So there's always a chance he can grab a couple out of nowhere, considering he has no touchdowns so far to date. But I still don't think he's worth the projection that he's got. Let's see. It's mixed up when it's all messed up like that. I gotta split this crap up. QB, as far as who is over here, I don't really like any of them. I love how Brett Favre is still listed. Like, get him out of there. And Kerry Collins, why is he? Don't even bother. It's just really annoying. And even Peyton Manning is down there. This is dumb. Jake Delhomme is over there. What the hell? But I don't know. I guess if you're really hurting this bad for QBs, I suppose John Beck might be a worthy pickup. Perhaps Painter. I think Ponder is going to be a better pickup, however. Looking at running backs, there's not going to be a DeMarco Murray every week. Like, that was asinine. The dude had the best day of his career in his first start, so don't ever expect that again. But no Sean Moreno. I think now that Willis McGahee is out, and considering how he was projected to do before the season started, he might actually be worth something now. So if you got an empty spot on your roster, it might not be a bad idea just to pick that up. Maurice Morris, again, because of the matchup he's in, assuming Best is out, he could be a worthwhile pickup. But if Best is playing at all, then don't even bother looking at it. Brandon Jacobs is down here on a lot of teams. I wouldn't get him yet, but keep an eye on him type of deal. Again, with this team, considering this is my Yeah, this is my TPX league. I don't personally have to worry about running backs because I have all of mine in the top 10, including 3 in the top 5. So I'm a little set in that regard. But still, guys to keep a lookout for. Going over to wide receivers specifically. Sanders, he was supposed to get better earlier on in the season, and only now that Ben is playing really well has he done well. Actually, that's just been 1 week. Never mind. So I don't know. He's one of those guys, like, he would be good to leave on the bench, but these are the weeks when you use your bench. So if you're still not going to use them at this point, you're not going to use them ever. Our league over here is pretty much trashed of wide receivers. There's nothing out here. Burleson, I don't know. I wouldn't play him personally. Doucette has been doing better than Fitzgerald, so if you need somebody to start, he might not be terrible, even though it's a horrendous matchup. Just for the fact that he's been doing better than Fitz. I don't know. Who knows? Some crazy stuff going on. There's not really anyone else kind of hanging out. Jacoby Jones, yeah, you keep thinking that someone's going to get Andre Johnson's touches, and it's not happening. That's all there really is for... oh crap, I didn't go to... Oops, go back. I missed a couple of things. Tight ends are totally random, and I would feel bad like picking anything on tight end. But let's go to all in this case for defenses. As far as defenses are concerned, let's see. If the Giants are open on this, let's start with available. You always want to pick or a lot of my teams, hell, a lot of teams for that matter, always pick a defense that's going up against an inept offense. So stuff like, well, now the Giants are off here because I picked them up this week, but anything playing Indy, anything playing the Browns, they got a good shot. Anything playing against, well, who knows, maybe not Denver. Stuff like Tennessee, like weaker offenses, the Seahawks, crap like that, Arizona, Miami, the Browns, Jacksonville, there's Seattle. Yeah, look, see, they're all up here. They've all got the highest projections for a good reason. So if you can pick something up like the Giants for this week or the 49ers for the rest of the season, the Texans, they've had some good games and some irrelevant games, that's for sure. But this is going to be another good week for them. So the Bengals should have another good week. The Lions, I don't like the rest of the season, but I do like them a lot this week. So, that's going to be a solid pickup. Close. Thank you. Close. Titans might be a good pick this week. No, I would never go with the Panthers. What else is down here? Yeah, now that we're getting down here, there's not too many surprises. Who knows? The Colts might end up having a decent day if you have to start them, but that's how all that is going to be looking down. Browns might not be a bad start, even though SF is probably going to win the game. They don't do it by putting up explosive numbers, really. So, let's see here. Browns versus 49ers versus defense. I don't know. It might be a good play. So get out of here. But that's something that a lot of people, especially, are having to deal with. I mean, somebody in this league dropped the Packers defense because they were on a bye. So, a lot of people switch defenses week to week, and that's just something to look at. As far as Mendenhall's been really worthless. I was looking at the running back rankings earlier today, and he's got like two good games in there, but he's been really bad. Guys like Michael Bush and Ben Tate have more points than him, so if you can get a trade for him, that might be something really worthwhile. Though this week he might have a decent time because he's up against the Patriots and they don't stop the run whatsoever. Cayman, why? You got to fix your line. Felix Jones not playing. Hines Ward, really, you're still starting him? I don't know. But Jimmy Graham's been awesome. Who are the Chargers playing? Oh, Kansas City? Yeah, they would have been a good start. I would have started them holy crap, I would have started them since week 3, really. It wouldn't have worked out versus Denver too well. But, yeah, they've got a few games. Just because of the division they're in, they've got a handful of games where, they're a solid real-life defense, but not necessarily the best fantasy defense. But considering the matchups that they have all the time, it can definitely turn out advantageous. So that's over there. Who's left hanging around in this type of team over here? I don't think there's really any. Yeah, see, there we go. I picked up Giants over there. Stafford is someone you want to watch day to day, blah, blah, blah. He might not be in too good of shape, and especially even if the Lions get up to a big lead or something like that, he's not going to throw it a whole lot. So definitely a question for me if I want to play Tebow or Stafford. It's just ironic that Tebow had a really good week last week, and they're playing against each other. So let's see who is hanging out on these waivers. All right, Hasselbeck. I don't think he's been playing really well as far as in-game, but not well. I guess, yeah, those are all double digits with the exception of this week. Oh, because he's injured. Everybody routes the Colts, blah, 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 blah. All right, well, it looks like if he plays, he'll be a really good start should you have that option. Flacco, he can't do any worse, that's for sure, and he's up against Arizona, so that's going to be a good week. Ponder's been doing surprisingly really well, so he's worth a pickup, I think. Aside from that, I suppose if you really need to go to Dalton, you could. It just feels bad because their offense still isn't that great. He's just been playing acceptable. Let's take a gander at running backs. One thing I wanted to point out that a lot of people might not necessarily know, once it gets down to free agencies, you don't lose your waiver order position to pick them up. You only do that if they're on the waivers, meaning it's before Wednesday or they've been dropped by somebody in the last 2 days. So a lot of times I like to just wait for Wednesday to go by, all the waivers cycle through, and then I can pick up my guys without losing my waiver order. Running back, this league has nobody for running backs whatsoever. There's nothing in here worth picking up. Wide receiver, which at this point really is how it should be looking, but Thomas, Tebow's got to throw it to somebody at some point. I suppose it could be him, could be Eric Decker, who knows. There's no way to predict that stuff yet. There we go. Someone dropped Burleson. They got sick of him. God, there's nobody here either. Which really, that's the way it should be looking. So, whatever. Tight ends. Oh, I said I wasn't going to click on tight ends because they're just so freaking random. Outside of the 10 guys who consistently can put. Wow, no one's starting the Lions in this league this week. That's crazy. Someone should pick them up, but no one's going to. Yeah, I've already given my shindig on defenses. For the hell of it, let's just look at kickers at least once. No, I don't want to look at kickers. So much for that. And then finally, I've gone down there. Preview. All right, Mendenhall. Yeah, he shouldn't. He just hasn't been doing very well. So if you can get something for him, might be a good time. Ingram, he's only had points last week because the Saints just had a franchise type of day, but all of those 91 yards were all garbage yards, so it's a very fake 10 points. I thought he had 10. Did he lose? He must have lost a point, or I don't know. They adjust some crap every now and then. Not really any of her dudes are worth it. This should be how is she 5-2? This stuff is garbage. Unbelievable. So I should crush this team, hopefully. My league is snake bit, so who knows, whatever. Wow, really? Yeah, her points have sucked, but she's 5-2. Look at that. I've beaten her every week with the exception of this outstanding week that she's had. And the first week when I did nothing. I sat Ray Rice, that's what I did. And he had 30 points. Every week I've beaten her, she's 5-2, and I'm 3-4. Oh, God, I hate this league. I have a good lineup, and I just never win. I always lose to something stupid, like a defense. I lose to defenses 95% of the time, but that's the breaks. Hey, finally, you condensed yourself. All day you've been really huge, and I wasn't able to get the whole thing on one page, and now you're condensed, and I can get everything on one page. This league probably has my most questions. Manning or Roethlisberger, that's just, they're both in good matchups. They're both playing really well. That's a toss-up. Sproles and Colston, I got lucky with that last week. I don't expect to see that every time, but Fitzgerald's been so worthless, I just feel like I should sit him and take Sproles in there instead. So, I don't know. It's pretty tough in this case as far as what I want to do with that. But, whatever. Felix Jones still isn't playing, so that's messing everything up for me. Preview. What about his guys? God, everyone I'm fighting this week, everyone I'm matched up against this week has Mendenhall. That's hilarious. Let's see. Jackson, Manningham, I wouldn't really go there at all. I don't know, looks like he's got some good picks in there, though. But I should probably have the advantage in this case. And his points have been garbage. Look at you. Awesome. Oh, back up to good. It's like, what the hell was up with this week? That was an important week, too. So I should crush this dude as well. But let's look at the waivers on this team, or this league. See if there's anything I haven't had a chance to point out yet that's worth it. Hey, no one here has picked up Tebow or Ponder. So, yeah, you never know. Some leagues there's going to be nothing in one position, and some leagues there's going to be a couple of worthwhile pickups. So, I suppose you never know. Either one of those is probably worth the start, honestly. So, depending on your situation, of course. Maurice Morris, again, if Best is out, he might do okay. So, the Washington running backs, now that one of them is injured for this season, that only leaves two of them, but you still never know which one is going to get it. So, I still wouldn't ever touch them, and you sure as hell don't want to play both. Well, yeah, here's Williams versus Morris. One of those two dudes is going to be, worthwhile if Best is out, especially against Denver. Let's go over here. Wide receivers. Wow, really? Crabtree's on the waiver? Pick him up if you got a chance. Sidney Rice, he's not really been doing that well, but he's still their top wide receiver, so I don't know. He might be worth just filling in the benches, but I suppose at the same point, these are the weeks when you have to fill in and use your bench players, so if you don't use them now, you're not going to use them at all. Mike Thomas is in that same boat. I'm surprised since Blaine Gabbert's coming, he's been doing worse, which is too bad. But I suppose this could be a decent week for him against the Bengals. I don't know. You certainly could do worse, I think, especially if you're in PPR. He might be worth picking up. Who knows, though? Yeah, Percy Harvin's down here. He's finally... I think I was the one who dropped him, actually. Yeah, he's finally become irrelevant. Defenses have already looked at, kickers, all that jazz. Does that finish off this team? Yep, I think that goes down just to the last one now. To which I'm always going to have this question. Oh, now it's back to freaking fat view instead of condensed. Whatever. Cam Newton and Romo, that's always going to be a question. Yeah, see, here I am starting Maurice Morris again, and Crabtree. I don't really like either of these spots, or the Browns for that matter. They're like second tier type of potential good. Who knows? So I might put in Moreno over Morris. In fact, I probably will. I have Manningham in here, but I only picked him up because he was free, and I don't want someone else to take him. So I'll probably end up dropping him, though, because there are a few good players on our wide receivers in this league. We'll take a look at that in a second. Let's see who... oh, he doesn't have Mendenhall. He's got Peyton Hillis instead, so that should be fine. Some people, a lot of leagues are dropping Peyton Hillis entirely. Some of my friends are, and I wouldn't drop him. Yeah, 99.4%. So it's very few people. Ironically, I know a couple of them in person, but I wouldn't get rid of him entirely. But he certainly is not worth a start at this point. Garcon, well, I guess because Reggie Wayne has become worthless. Garcon's worth a start now. But again, another league where I should crush. Dude's 4-2, despite the fact that I would have beaten him every week. So here we go. I know there's a couple worthwhile players still hanging out in this league. Looks like for QBs it's just Ponder who's hanging out. For running backs, Hardesty, he's probably not going to do too high. He only had a decent amount of points because he had 33 carries and he only got 95 points. But this week he's going up against a much better run defense, so that's not going to happen. I mean, he might still get the 30 carries, but he'll get even less than 100 yards. But potentially he's got points for a score if he's going to get that many touches. So I suppose if you're really hurting that bad, you can put him in. Jackie Battle against San Diego is not going to be worth it. Anyone else down here? I would rather have McCluster than Battle in this case because of San Diego, and McCluster's going to get some in the or some receptions instead. But obviously he's really sucked that bad. I thought he'd be better than that. So never mind. Potentially pass on that. Yeah, it's just some leagues. It's just really tough to find some stuff. I wouldn't trust Ricky Williams. I think they're going to give Ray Rice the ball the whole time this league. I've had 3 leagues, everyone except TPX, offer me Ray Rice. No, not 3, 2 of them. 2 of them offered me Ray Rice because he had so bad of a one game. But Nate Washington's been decent. Gaffney might get up there since Santana Moss is hurt. Antonio Brown's been picking up. Reggie Wayne. Somebody dropped Reggie Wayne in this league. So I'm going to wait till the end of the day. Or no, I'm going to wait like an hour or so that I can pick up Reggie Wayne and drop Manningham. And then if you drop players after 1 o'clock on Friday, the waiver won't expire until after 1 o'clock on Sunday. I'm assuming that it actually keeps the time on there. It might not. It might just take Sunday, so that's fine. But then people aren't going to be able to pick him up in time. So anyone you pick up on Friday or Saturday, and whoever you drop for them, people aren't going to be able to use the person you dropped. So if you're really looking at that and someone is still on the waivers, I like to do all of my pickups and drops on Friday and Saturday, so that way, just in case I'm wrong, other players can't capitalize on who I'm getting rid of. So I like doing that a lot. So I'll be picking up Reggie Wayne later today. And I think that's really all that we have. Wow, I went over 20 minutes and I was trying to speed things up. That's funny. Haven't looked at the standings yet, but this team's been doing really well. 820 points so far in the 7 weeks, and they're just pretty much crushing everybody. For once, I'm in the easier division. I guess there is one guy who's 5-2, despite the fact that I did beat him. So he's doing really well, but he's only scored 618 points. So it's like, how are you 5-2? That's so bad. Oh, the guy who hasn't touched the league whatsoever since he's joined the thing, since draft day, he finally came back this week and he actually offered me a trade. I'm like, what the hell? It was a bad trade, but, well, no, it wasn't terrible, but not something I wanted. Ray Rice and Cedric Benson for my LaShawn McCoy, which I'm not going to take, but decent offer. So way to come back for just that, kid. Another league doing really well. Highest scorer in this league as well. I'm the highest scorer in 3 leagues, so my teams have definitely been effective. But I had a freaking fluke loss that you guys saw, so that it happens. But I should be in good position for the playoffs. This dude started 3-0, and now he's 3-4. Everyone's just crushing him, so there's not really going to be too much competition at this point. So we'll see from there. Standings over here in my unfortunate league where I get hacks and I just have bad luck. At this point, yeah, because I'm in the nuts division, I don't think I have much of a chance to make the playoffs in this league. I pretty much have to win out at this point. This dude's, wow, he's lost 2 in a row. Has he been paying attention? He's definitely got the best team in the league, but I haven't noticed that. He must have lost 2 in a row. Wow. So I don't know. I'm certainly not going to place in the top 2 in this division, I don't think. I've got a chance for it, I suppose. But everyone on this side of the ball really, really sucks. So I know I've got a chance. I'm playing this second place person this week. So if I beat her, I'll only be 1 game out of this spot. It doesn't always, depending on the rules, take top 2 and top 2. It takes the top 1 of each, and then it takes the next best. So you could have 3 and 1. And thus I need to get into this 3rd spot and be better than this 2nd spot. So there's a chance for that. For me, making the playoffs is more of my fantasy goal than winning the playoffs, simply because some of the games at the end of the season in the NFL are worthless and a lot of really good players sit. So like Aaron Rodgers, I don't expect him to be playing the last week or 2 of the season because he's going to have, the top seed locked up. So why should, he be playing? He's probably not going to play very much. So the person who's had Rodgers and used him to get to the playoffs where they're at suddenly is not going to have him. He's going to lose and all that garbage. So my goals are more oriented to making the playoffs if you're a bad team, or winning the regular season if you're a good team. Again, in this league, I finally got back to the top scoring team in here, and things are finally looking up. So I've had some good weeks, and hopefully you guys can continue to have some good weeks of your own. We've got a really funny poll in here. What was the biggest draft day steal? Foster at 12th, Welker at 59th, Stafford at 68th, Fred Jackson at 81st, Steve Smith at 99th, Jimmy Graham at 106, Sproles 123rd, Rob Gronkowski at 133rd. I personally voted for Graham. Obviously 2 other guys voted for Fred Jackson, but TPX is fun because we always have a lot of fun polls. The last one we had was who's the last winless team that you predict to win, and 3 of them are still winless, so it's like that one's still up in the air, but you know, who knows, whatever. So thanks for watching another week of this. I know only Malk actually cares, but you know, that's where we are. So hopefully you guys can give me some good. Yeah, see, dropping Packers. Why? Oh no, he added Packers. Somebody dropped Packers. Whoever dropped Packers, you're stupid. G, what are you doing dropping Packers? Anyway, so let me guys know your questions that you have for this week in the comments, or no one's actually posted any vid responses, but for vid responses if you like, any of that jazz. It's a tough week because week 8 is got a lot of dudes out, but you know, should be fun. And let's have some good success. So thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Catch you later. Peace.